And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are in the unlikely hero tier 8 Russian premium tank Minotaur KV-5. Now I was given this tank as a loaner from Wargaming just for testing. As a part of being a CC, one of the perks is to rent the tanks that you don't have, that you can potentially play and make some videos on it. Now this tank, I didn't ask for it. Wargaming just dropped it into my garage and it showed up, so I decided to take it for a spin and see how good this tank is. Now initially I thought this was a preferential tank. I thought that this was a KV-5 that plays only to tier 9, and the problem with that tank is the penetration. So as you can see here, I loaded a bunch of premium shells on this tank, but like I said, I didn't realize that it is not a preferential matchmaking tank, so actual pen values on this KV-5 are much higher. I think stock pen is something like 225 and premium shell pen is like 289 or something crazy like that. So yeah, so don't mind this. This is my 4th game in this tank, and what you're going to see here is absolutely beast of a game. Beast of a game, guys. So this is literally my highest damage game ever on tier 8. And you'll see what happens at the end of the game. It's just incredible how good this game was. And I will be fighting hard at the end of this game to get a win out of it as well. So yeah, it was crazy down to the wire type of game. Anyway, my apologies for the third-person view or replay system replay, really, because unfortunately my capture card decided to corrupt pretty much all of my videos that night that I played. So everything, all my sessions with Freddy, plus my games that I played just by myself, they all got corrupted, and I had to settle for this. But I put this together for you guys so that you can actually see where I was penning these tanks. So at least this makes it a little bit more watchable. It took some time to navigate and edit, but it made sense for that type of a game, to be honest. Anyway, we pushed town early because we had advantage. We were close to town. In the encounter mode, when you drone on south side, you're closer to town, so may as well just take advantage of that. So that's what we did. And now, since we're in town, we're gonna try to clean up this area here. So I'm pretty much leading the push right here, but I do have Stockade with me, who's right behind me. So we're gonna try to push deeper in here and see if we can get some shots of damage and get these guys out of the game. So we've seen an icebreaker here earlier. There he is. So we're gonna put a shell into him right there. Now he's I thought he was gonna rush me, but he goes straight for water. Look at this. What is this? So I'm gonna put a shell into him and I'm just gonna let him drown. I'm not interested in running after him, especially in this tank, and overexposing myself, because something might be looking from left side. There was a Borsig there, right? There was also low that was spotted. There's ISM. So yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Here we see the lava. We're gonna put a shot into him. We're gonna angle our tank quickly right here. And as you can see, we've seen his side, so we put a shell into his side right there. He's over-angling, definitely. And he's gonna get shit on by RD2 right there. So we get some spotting damage out of that. But now we're gonna move up and we're gonna try to take him out of the game. We're gonna use buildings to our advantage. That's the idea here. So we put another shell into him right there. We ammo rack him at the same time. And he's gonna get taken out pretty soon right there. And he's out of the game. So we continuously have shots here. Now we see this Proto over there. Now our gun is gonna troll us a little bit in here, because all we could see is basically just slight bit of his side sticking up and mostly his turret. So I aimed the shot at his side, whatever was visible, but I'm gonna have trouble hitting it. And the gun, this gun is actually not too bad if you fully aim it, but some shells just go low. That's what I noticed. So I'm unspotted here, but I have shots, so I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna continue shooting at him. We put a shell into him right there. Yes, we were able to hit him in the side. So he's slightly overexposed there. And we're gonna continue doing the same thing, because like I said, I don't have to move. I still have shots. So I'm going to try to punish him as much as I can. Now we miss another shot over there. It goes behind him. But he gets stuck in place. And I notice his turret turning because he got hit by Artie. And just before he disappears, or after he disappears, I put a shell into his side of the turret right there. So now he drops off. And I have no more shots. So I'm not going to remain in this position. Our stockade is at A6. So I was thinking if our stockade moves up, we'll be able to put some shots from the middle. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to drop into the middle of the map. And on Fish Bay, middle position is absolutely spectacular to cover both flanks for sniping purposes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We have stockade on this side of the map, on the north side. We also have another tank, which is a mutant, who was on the south side of the map. So that's what I thought to myself. This is probably a good position for me to be in. I'm going to get myself behind those buildings here. Now you don't see the mutant yet because on the replay system it doesn't really show up. There he is right now. You can see him at J5. So I thought if he could spot something, I should have shots into here. But he gets shot down hard by Yak Tiger 88. And he burns down, unfortunately. So we don't have a spotter on this side of the map anymore. So we're going to flex to the other side instead now. Because we still have a stockade over there. So that's what we're doing. Again, we're using those buildings to our advantage. We know there are two Arties on the opposing team. So last thing I want to do is get hit and annihilated. So we're going to wait up here. We're actually telling Stockade to move up. But he never moved up. And then he gets taken out. So now we have no spotters on either side. And that's a problem. So because I am full health, even though I have very limited view range in this tank. I don't remember what it is. I'll leave it in the captions below. But the view range sucks on this tank. But I still decided to move up here because my crew that I put into this tank wasn't bad at all. It had all the view range perks. So I thought I might be able to push up with my HP and potentially spot these guys on the north side. But all of a sudden, this IS-3 shows up and he spots me. So I'm kind of in a no man's land. I'm going to reverse side scrape here because that's the only thing I can do really at this point if he starts shooting at me. But I do have shots at him. So we put a shell into him and we track him at the same time. Right there. And yeah, now I'm unspotted. I'm behind a tree, so I should be able to fire here probably without being spotted. So that's what we're going to try to do. But we get spotted anyway for whatever reason. And here we're going to miss some shots. He's actually going to start moving. And again, our gun is going to shoot a little bit low. I got stuck on the building over there a little bit. I'm worried about the Artie. So we're going to try to take one more shot. And we're going to move up. Again, we missed that shot. I think we came up short. Yeah, right there. The shot hits the ground. So the IS-3 decided to YOLO. I think he went for a spot because there is a tortoise in a far distance that he thought was going to put shells into whoever's sitting in the middle. But because he overexposed so much and he got himself in the crossfire, he's going to die quite quickly. We're going to try to put one more shell into him right here. Can we do it? No, he gets shot down by the Artie. Just like that. So look at the score. The game is so close. Now, the only problem is the two TDs left on the opposing team are the Yak Tiger 8.8, the premium tier 8 Yak Tiger, which has incredible rate of fire, and a tortoise, another tank at tier 9, which has incredible rate of fire. And believe it or not, they're both full health. What we have left is me, who's full health, plus this Russian TD. That's kind of at, what, half health as well? So I decided to get myself back into the middle. Since my TD is capping, I was thinking maybe that's a decent play. Maybe we can start drawing the opposition into the middle and see who shows up first. So that's what I'm going to do. Except I'm going to go more over to the left because I know that Yak Tiger 88 was on this side of the map. I'd rather be hit by Yak Tiger 88 than by Tortoise because Tortoise has a much better penetration, much better gun, right? So I got myself on this side and I'm spotted all of a sudden. I'm like, okay, that's not good. That means Yak Tiger 88 moved up and he's spotting me. There he is. He's on the left hand side. I haven't noticed him yet. Duh. Now I noticed him. Anyway, we're gonna put a shell into him. Artie misses us. We're gonna put a shell into his bottom plate right there, right? And now we're gonna move up and go behind the building, because now we know that the artillery is sitting somewhere at A4. Somewhere in there. I saw the shots coming from there. So I'm gonna move up a little bit forwards to see if I can respot the Yak Tiger 8.8. But I can't. He's got a good camo. But he gets spotted when he fires. So now we're gonna be able to put a shell into him. And he's on the move, so he decides to go towards town. But because he's so exposed, he shows his sight to me. I'm able to put shells into him, just like that. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're gonna keep putting shells into this guy until he disappears. At the same time, pay attention to my positioning. I'm behind the building because of Artie, and I'm gonna be sitting here so that Artie has trouble hitting me. Now here, I went back a little bit too far. Likely Artie missed me, because I could have lost some HP right there. So now what we have to do is we're gonna have to charge this Yak Tiger 8.8, because we gotta take a gun out of the game. And he's isolated. Tortoise definitely is not here. He's on the other side or somewhere in the middle. So we have full HP. We should be able to push him right here and take him out of the game. And that's exactly what we're gonna try to do while he's bouncing off of us. So we put a shell into his superstructure right there. We take him out of the game. And now all of a sudden Tortoise shows up in the middle, and he took out our Russian TD. So it's just me versus Tortoise and Arties that are in play. So we put a shell into the Tortoise. We're gonna try to pound that cupola as much as we can. Now when I'm shooting, I'm making sure that I'm fully aiming my shots with this gun. And so far the gun has been hitting. So it's been doing pretty well. Now we're gonna move up towards this building here. And we're just gonna poke from around the corner. That way we're already safe, yet we should have shots at the Tortoise. Now I overexposed a little bit too much here. I didn't know whether I was gonna be able to spot him, but I did. But that shell bounces, it goes a little bit low into his gun, or gun manlet. But again, take a look at my positioning. I'm not overexposing my tank. The shots are extremely difficult for Artie. Artie just tracks me there as we continue pounding that cupola of Tortoise. And look, there's nothing he's doing wrong. He's actually playing it quite right. But that big cupola on the Tortoise, it just killed this game for him, to be honest. Because I could see it. If he was on the other side of the building, that would be maybe a little bit different, because that cupola wouldn't be visible. But look at it. He's moving back and forth, right? There's nothing better that he could have done, right? And just making sure that my shots are going in. I'm aiming them pretty well. Plus, the roof of the building on the right-hand side kind of covers my cupola slightly. So it makes it a difficult shot for him as well. And yeah, he should be probably shooting my R2-D2, you know, that cupola that's on the front of the KV-5 front hull. So look at that. We drained him quite well right there. He's only at 750 right now, while we continue pounding that cupola. But now he's gonna drop off. He doesn't want any of it anymore, right? And what I probably should have done there is wait until my sixth sense disappears. But then I knew that on my approach up the hill over here, he was going to spot me anyway. Here we knew where he was. We fired the shell blindly, and it somehow goes into the front portion just beside his manlet right there. So I don't know how that penned, but it did pen, I guess, because of the premium round and high penetration. It went in. And so far I've been lucky, because Artie hasn't been really hitting me. So I'm going to, you know, keep pushing here. Since Arties cannot hit me, I'm not really paying attention to them. But first Artie hits me here, and the second Artie is gonna smoke me in a second here as well, unfortunately. But I have no choice. I gotta push this guy. I gotta take him out of the game. He's the only one that's spotting me for the Arties, right? And I'm full HP, so I gotta sacrifice my HP at this point. So we're gonna keep pushing here. Both Arties, by the way, are M12s. Pretty dangerous Arties for tier 7. Anyway, we're gonna come from around the corner here. And again, our goal is to just go in and demolish his cupola. That's what it was. Just keep on aiming those shells and keep on putting them in. Right there. We put another one in. And we're gonna try to finish him off with our next shot. I was just waiting for Artie's shot to land here. In the meantime, we spotted the first Artie. We could see him in the middle of the field. I think he was moving up to go in a different position, but I think he started moving up too late. A little bit too late. And again, Artie misses us. So yeah, I got really lucky here that Artie's not hitting me. Because M12, to be honest, is pretty accurate Artie. So, yeah, I got a little bit lucky here. Anyway, opposition's M12 gets demolished by our Artie. And at this point, I wanted to fake I'm going forward. And then I backed off because I knew Artie was going to hit me in a split second. So that way, I can kind of get him to miss that shot. There we go. Artie fires. And now we can move up. Now, the problem is the clock. Right? There's only 1:30 seconds left. So I really have to charge here. I really need to spot this Artie. And I told my Artie that I'm actually charging here. So the interesting thing is that our Artie didn't get himself in a position to shoot, but instead went into the cap circle, which was totally a bad play by him. He should have been covering me here. So when I spot the Artie, the M12, he should be in a position to shoot, but he wasn't. Here, maybe I should have loaded HE rounds so I could kill him completely. But HE rounds don't work for me more often than not. Every time I shoot HE rounds, they don't penetrate anywhere. So this is the last shot. I really need to hit him, and damn it, I missed that shot. I aimed that shot well, guys. It was aimed at his barrel right in front of his tank, and it goes behind him. That would have secured the game for our team, and I would have won the game, pretty much carrying the load from beginning to the end. But because our Artie wasn't in a position to shoot, and potentially because I didn't load HE, I pretty much, yeah, he's probably gonna get away. And that's the problem. And you can see him on the right hand side right there. He's so much faster than me. By the time I get up the hill, there's no way I'll be able to catch him. Another thing I could have done is potentially tracked him, right? Tracked him and then try to kill him. You can see my frustration there, because that was so frustrating. I carried this game for the team, carried it hard, and I wasn't rewarded by it. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. So, yeah, as you can see, he's already far away. I can't catch him. I don't know where he is. I'm looking for him, and yeah, I'm just kicking myself right here, unfortunately. But anyway, let's take a look at the end plates and see how we did. As I told you guys, this was a monstrous game. This is a great game for tier 10. Never mind tier 8. Incredible result. So we managed to put up 7.8k damage with 1326 assisted, which brings the total to 9.1k combined. Sick. Absolutely sick game. All sorts of medals. Obviously Ace Tanker medal. Cool-headed Defender. Steel Wall. Confederate. 25 penetrating hits. Only 2 tanks destroyed. But oh my goodness. We made 200,000 credits as well. We finished on top of the leaderboard with surprisingly low 1705 base XP. Really? For almost 8k game in a tier 8 tank. Regardless, we fired 33 shells, we had 27 direct hits and 25 penetrations. What a game. This could possibly be the highest ever damage game by a tier 8 on console. I'm not sure. If anybody's seen a higher damage tier 8 game on console, please let me know in the comment section below. Anyway guys, it was one of those one-of-a-kind types of games which, to be honest, is really hard to come by, and I was surprised when this happened to me. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.